Hello, I'm James, and welcome to another Jonesing for Film theatrical review. Yes, Battleship, the latest summer action film. So the plot here is really basic. Taylor Kitsch is in the Navy, aliens land in the sea while he's on a training exercise, stuff blows up. Doesn't get any simpler than that. So going into this, I was not expecting much. I had very low standards for this. And yeah, this film really didn't exceed my expectations at all. But there are some things that I did like. For starters, I liked the visual effects. The alien ships were designed quite nicely, and the explosion scenes did in fact look really cool. And even though it's clearly CGI, there's enough detail to stop it from looking absurdly fake. It's not like some CGI that looks good, but only in a CGI setting. Cartoony, that's the word I'm looking for, cartoony. It was not cartoony. Another thing I actually liked was the cinematography. There are some really good shots here. I especially like the overhead shots that showed both sides, like the alien side and the Navy side. Those were really good shots. And the circling shots of the ships were cool too. And on top of that, there was actually a short supply of shaky cam. It wasn't completely non-existent, but there wasn't an overabundance of it either. My next like was some of the action, I gotta say, was pretty cool. There is a lot of stuff blowing up in this, and my inner child was having a blast. I would have enjoyed this film so much more if I was 12. Finally, my last like is the score. I really like Steve Jablonsky's scores. They have a great fast pace that really adds to intense-like scenes. Now on to what I disliked, and it's a pretty long list, so strap yourselves in. First off, the plot is just so dumb. I mean, it's bad enough that they decided to do a movie based off of Battleship the board game, but then they throw aliens in on top of that. Like, come on. Why does Hollywood constantly rely on aliens to make a movie? Look, I know that original ideas are getting hard to find, but can we please cut back on the aliens? The next issue is the acting. Back when I reviewed John Carter, I said that I was looking forward to Taylor Kitsch's future. I really hope he filmed this before John Carter, because this was a step back for him. Half the movie he has this like stunned look on his face. And really, who thought it was a good idea to put Rihanna in this? She was so awful. In fact, technically everyone was awful. At least all the actors were awful. I've heard that they actually got some real-life naval personnel to do some of the stuff. So, you know, I don't know who was which, but the actors should have done a better job. Like, I can give the Navy guys slack because they're Navy guys. They're not actors. But the actors, yeah. I mean, there were some really bad line reads and little to no expressions. Or in some case, there was too much expression. Even Liam Neeson gave a phoned-in performance. He wasn't in it a whole lot, and every time he showed up, I saw this look on his face like, I have a career, what am I doing here? And it's not just the fault of the actors. The writing is pretty atrocious, too. There's some really dumb dialogue and some really weak humor. I will say that there was a scene at the start and one at the end that got a smile on my face. But other than that, the humor is so bad, I think even Michael Bay would cringe. And there's another thing. This film makes some of Michael Bay's films look good. It feels like the makers were like, hey, Michael Bay's my idol, I want to make a movie just like one of his. But here's the thing about mimicking your idol. You're only about 25 to 50% as good as they are. So when you mimic Michael Bay, you get Battleship. But hey, at least there wasn't a bunch of dumb side plots, racist humor, or John Turturro. Now when I talked about the CGI earlier, I wasn't saying all of it was good. The alien ships might have looked cool, but the aliens controlling them were most definitely cartoony. These are the goofiest looking aliens I've ever seen outside of a comedy. And I'm pretty sure it's been said before, but I'm going to say it again. The alien armor is a complete Halo ripoff. Okay, not a complete Halo ripoff, but the design, the look of it, it's Halo. Finally, my last problem is the movie takes itself way too seriously at times. There are times where you can see that they're trying to push out a little bit of, like, you know, self-awareness, but most of the time they're taking themselves really seriously. I mean, it's Battleship with aliens. Lighten the tone, have some fun, throw in some more tongue-in-cheek humor, make more references to the actual game. I will say that the ones they actually did have in the movie were fairly creative, but still. So overall, Battleship to me was just an excuse to blow up stuff. Really, that is all it was. They just called it Battleship to market it, make new versions of the board game and stuff like that. So Battleship, for me, gets an average. I'm really hoping the summer season picks up soon because things have been pretty lackluster since the Avengers came out. So that is my review of Battleship. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to subscribe. Also, don't forget to visit me on Facebook and check out my blog. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next review.